Hi, it's Belinda Aussie Stitcher coming to here on the 15th of November for my close enough Wip Parade. I know my Wip Parades are always early, but I do it during our harvest, so I have less distractions happening. My last Wip Parade was done on the 10th of October, but we had a really late start to harvest this year. We didn't start until like a week ago. So here we are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my finishes that I got done between October and this Wip Parade. Plus I'm going to show you the whips that I've worked on up front. So if anyone doesn't want to see a whole bunch of whips that had zero progress, they don't have to sit through a whole video, and it's easier for me to edit as well. So here we go. This is my 2025 Wip Parade. Are we ready? My Wip Parades are not nearly as big as some people's. Some stats. Since my last Wip Parade, so not just this year, it will be from October, I had 3 finishes. I had Vintage Birds, Anzac, and Day Nymph. I worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 different projects, and I had 2 new starts. Should have probably organized that a little bit beforehand. And I did, which compared to a lot of people is not a lot, but for me, I'm very happy with 68,166-ish stitches. That does not include any beading that I done, which I did on Day Nymph, or backstitch. I don't count backstitch. And I'm gonna say that's a rough count because sometimes we don't always count correctly. We might overcount, undercount, and trying to add up everything. So we're gonna go with roughly 68,000. But yeah, 68,166 stitches. I am really happy with that. I try to aim for 5,000 each month. I've had a couple of months where it was 3,000-ish and 4,000. So, and then I had, I think it was 7,000 and something. So yeah, average, you know, all out probably really good. I'm really happy, extremely happy. So let's get started. First one I finished, or I don't know if it's the first one, but it's the first one I've written down, is Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. I started this, I can't remember when, but it was for Stitching May's birthday, using the so-called threads. The only difference I made is that these are colors that my kids picked out, and I did their initials. This is done on the 32 count 2/2, and I think it was bittersweet fabric. But yeah, and to complete it, I did 2,408 stitches. Anzac was my big finish by Long Dog Sampler, and I finished that I think in May, and it took 5,632 stitches for my last Wip Parade. This is stitched on 32 count fabric, and there she is. Love all the little motifs, even the flamingo, which still is weird to me because I think when I googled there was like 1 flamingo in Australia. But anyway, stunning. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I have a friend who's Australian who partner is New Zealand, and I kind of think it would be cool for them, or I might keep it, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was my first Long Dog Sampler done. And the last one, which I'm going to insert a photo, is Day Nymph by Mirabilia. And this was done with this Cord for Vadoni threads on a piece of fabric which I think was from trying to think of her name, but it was a dyer in the UK and she shut down. If I remember it, I'll put it in the box. I've put it somewhere really safe. I have seen it recently in the last month as I've been rearranging, but I can't put my hands on it today, and I wanted to get this Wip Parade done. So I'll just stick a photo in here of the finish. Hopefully I got one. If not, you're just seeing nothing. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I did 1,575 stitches from the Wip Parade to get it done, plus 461-ish beads. I really did enjoy doing this, and I want to start the Night Nymph and get that one done. So, oh sorry, I've got to wiggle and knock the camera. So, 3 monthly, still need more coffee. Right, I'm going to start off with my 3 monthly whips that I did. Then I'm going to go into my monthly whips that I work on every month to a finish. And then I'm going to do my monthly whips that I have started. That I do just once a month. So 12 whips for every month. And then I will do my 2 new starts. Right, in my basket of goodies. And as I'll go along, I will mention some of the bags if I know them. Most of them are from Stitch and Button, like this one. And this one is a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. And this one you will see progress from my last Wip Parade. I stitched some stitches on it, and I've stitched some stitches on it this month as well. And I've still got December to go for the 3 monthly. Okay, I started this on the 29th of August 2020, and it's on 36 count Tyco from Picture This Plus. And I have done since my last Wip Parade 2,113 stitches. There we go. I have finished 2 pages and I've started into the 3rd. There are 8 pages on the top, and out of all of these colors, I have not used them all yet. Lots of beautiful colors. And with this one, as I said in my last update, I'm going to change this to add the farm that we originally brought and the farm that we brought this year, and maybe the years we brought it and our trading name, which isn't anything exciting. So yeah, this will come out again next year as a 3 monthly whip, and I think we'll keep doing that until the first row maybe is done, and then this will come out as a monthly whip. All right, in this bag, which is from Stitch and Needs in Australia on Etsy, it's a beautiful bag, love the little fringe, is the March Fairy by Mirabilia. Now, I started this on the 27th of March 2019. It is on a 32 count mystery fabric by Colour Cascades. I'm sure it has a name by now. And in the 3 months that I stitched on this, I got a grand total of 1,228 stitches. Not a lot. I do hope to get more to the 2,000 and something, but sometimes it works for you and sometimes it doesn't. And here we are. And I've just been bringing the dress down. I have realized though and I'm not restarting. This is going to be interesting to bead. There are a lot of beads and the holes are small, but we will get there. Right, my next monthly whip is in an Emily C bag. She no longer makes bags. And this is Inspirations by Rosewood Manor. Now, this one I only ever count the full stitches, but there is a lot of back stitching to this. So I started this on the 4th of August 2017. It is on 32 count Gold Digger Old Matte by Colour Cascades. And I did 1,116 stitches. But considering there's back stitch in this as well, I worked down in this block. This one is getting moved from a monthly to maybe a 300 stitches a month. But I might be doing something else as well. We'll see. And the last one in this stitch and button bag is Scary Sampler by Heartstring Stamply. I don't know why it doesn't just focus properly. I do not have my start date in here, but it is on Salt Rock 36 counts by Colour and Cotton, and I got 1,958 stitches, and I completed the top page and into the second page. This will again come out in for a 3-monthly rotation. I am sorry if the zipping and unzipping is annoying, but it works better for me with the amount of whips I've got. Okay, we're going into monthly whips. Sorry. Right, so first one in this beautiful stitch and button bag that was gifted to me is Three Things. 3 String Sampler by Maura Blackburn. And in the middle it says 3 things there are that will never come back. The arrow shot forth on a destined track, the appointed hour that could not wait, and the helpful word that was spoken too late. And I do not have my start date on this. And this is stitched on a 32 or a 36 count. I'm pushing towards more 32 on like a cream linen that I got from 123 Stitch. And since my last Wip Parade, I got 8,296 stitches, and I got that top row done. Super, super happy with it. Right, next one was a new start, but I have been working on it every month. And this is my 300 stitches roughly a month. in this stitch and button bag is Thistle Do Nicely. May your blessings outnumber the thistles that grow, and may trouble avoid you wherever you go. I started this, I thought it was February, but it was 30th of January, when my daughter Sophie left for Scotland, and she's coming back in January. She's had a ball, guys. She really, really has. This is stitched on 28 count Folk from Picture This Plus. And since I've started it, I have done 3,794 stitches. Not bad, just a little bit every month. And I think I didn't do it every month. I think it might have been 2 months where I didn't get to it. I'm having a bit of trouble with lightning and shadowing again, and there's not a lot I can do, guys. I'm really sorry. Some of them though has shown the fabric to be pretty true. In this bag, which is from Jan's Stitching Necessities, so pretty, is Sleeping Beauty by Joan Elliott. I was really hoping I was going to focus on a finish and get it done this year. Maybe next year. Do I have my little card in here? No. This is stitched on a 32 count blush from Picture This Plus. And considering I was struggling with it, I did 4,322 stitches since the last Wip Parade. So, not too shabby. Just doing in here. If I just fold it. So, I had a page finish, and then I've been working in here. And as you can see, it's just the lightest of lightest pinks, which makes working all those light colors not fun. Maybe next year. I would like to see this finished. And my big one. Actually, hold that because I need to get some stats. All right, I'm back with the information I needed. Plus I've moved some curtains around to see if we can get a little bit of a lightning, but we might have got a bit of glare. All right, for the stats. The next one I've been working on every month is Outback Storm by Heaven and Earth. Pretty true of what it looks like. I have done, since my last Wip Parade, a whopping 26,749 stitches. Also, when I started my Wip Parade, when I did my Wip Parade, I should say, in October, I was at 18.5% done. I am now at 26.59% done. How amazing is that? So happy. I also have zeroed one color, which is weird in itself because it's huge and I'm not even halfway done. Some other little stats. I have in Outback Storm one color that is one stitch away from being zeroed. I have quite a few. I have about 10 that's under 100 stitches. And my highest number of one color is 3864, and it's 22,259 stitches left. All that to say is here it is. I have finished, sorry, that was the frame that I took, the quick Q snap. I just had it sitting there and I've knocked it down onto something. So this is what it looks like. So it goes all the way over to this side. When I started, none of this was done. I had the first set of pages done here. So I've done, I think these are 4. So I've done 4, 5, 6 pages because I've finished a page here. But how amazing does that look? And unfortunately, not that it's affected us, but we've had a week of summer storms. We can see in the distance, I don't know, I'll put the picture up here, I haven't got to it, but you can see that kind of in the clouds where it looks like it's raining. Yeah, so they are normally storm cells or little thing where no one else is getting it, but that little area is absolutely getting pounded. So yeah, love this. And this will get on. I have to say this, when it's closer, does look a little bit pixelated, but it looks amazing back. This is stitched on 22 count hardanger, which if you're starting off, do not do 25 1/1 or 10 stitch or whatever you want to do, but don't do this is full cross. I don't love it stitching on it, but I'm getting there. So my goal would be to have by next year these 2 pages done and another whole row done, which after this round is doable. It is absolutely doable. Super happy with that. And that is all my monthly that I work on every month to a finish whips. I should point out that I am looking down because I do have a book of notes with all my stats. Right, so let's get into what I've worked on monthly. This one got 2 months because I worked on it last year after the Wip Parade and then again this year. And this is Mermaids of the Pearl by Mirabilia. I do not have a cover page, so I will put one up. This was started on the 31st of November 2018 and it's stitched on Sweet Child of Mine, 32 count by Colour Cascades. And in those 2 months, I did 1,581 stitches. So it would have been just working down. Super happy with that. I reckon it wouldn't be too hard to work on a finish. Put that in a monthly and get it done. Right, next one. In this Emily C bag is Circle of Friends by Mirabilia. And do I have my little card in here? No, I don't. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them did, and I've misplaced them. Anyway, this is stitched on a 32 count by Fabric I do not know on top of my head. And I got 1,218 stitches. And I would have been working to the edge and down. I know this looks like it's a bit washed out, but it is, in real life, it is just fine. In this Emily C bag is The Dancing Butterfly Fairy by Joan Elliott. This is stitched on 28 count Jobelin by Fabrics by Stephanie, and it's called April Showers, and I started this on the 5th of July 2019, and I did 752 stitches. This fabric is just beautiful, soft and beautiful. But yeah, I think I did in here, but you would have seen with the before pic. And I think that was the first time I've worked on it since I started, which is a shame. And it may have been pulled for next year. I can't quite remember. I've got them written down. Just got to put this back. Right, this one is a stitch and button bag. It's stunning. And this is Dragonfly Fairy, which I'll put a picture up here. And I started this on the 5th of July 2018, and it's on a 32 count even weave fabric, but I don't know the dyer. And I have done 818 stitches plus a whole lot of back stitch. And there we go. Working in, I did the feet, back stitched all through the dress, and did all those Krynic, dragonflies and grass. Been trying to get a page finished this year. Haven't worked on it nearly enough, and I don't know if that's going to happen. In this Joan Elliott, in this Vicky Stitch and Button bag is a Joan Elliott, and this is the one I started for Vicky's birthday, is Dragon and the Fairy. And this was started on the 14th of November 2020 on a 28 count, which I do not know the dyer. And I did 851 stitches, and I would have been all in that tail. To bring it in. It's gonna fall. Right, in this very special bag, which I'll take everything out and show, was a subscriber called Melody made me this bag and stitched this. It's, yeah, every time. It's so special to me. And in here is Fairy Flora by Mirabilia. And I got 733 stitches on this, and it's a 28 count Silver Springs by Colour Cascade. And I'm doing something really different. I'm starting in the bottom and working up. And I started this on the 2nd of August to, it was a restart on 2024. And I'm pretty sure this has been called out to do it again next year. I just love that piece. In this bag that was made a long time ago by Terry from Absent-Minded Stitches. She doesn't make bags anymore. Is Emerald Mermaid by Mirabilia. And this is stitched. So I picture this plus fabric, but I don't seem to have one of my little cards in there. Oh, hang on. I do. Sorry, it's Colour and Cotton, 28 Cashel from Colour and Cotton. Restarted on the 17th of the 3rd, 2023. And I got 341 stitches. I think that was the month I was struggling. Does it go this way? It might go this way actually. But super happy with it on this fabric. This was one of the ones I actually thought, was I going to stitch it? And I ended up really liking it when I stitched it, even though it was 49, but I still really like it. I know people talk about each whips. I can't. I struggle with that. Some I can, some I can't, some I like, but don't have lots to say about it. This is a bag by Little Yellow House. She no longer does bags, but this has the Time Traveler. This one I can talk a bit about. I started her. I saw her when there was talks of the Doctor Who having a female doctor, which ended up being Jodie Whittaker, and I haven't done any conversion, but I love the fact that it has this in the background. It's got the blue in the dress. It just, yeah. For me, I didn't need to change anything on it. I started this on the 17th of October 2017, and it's by it's four Fairy by Colour Cascade, 32 count. I just love the colours, and I did 554 stitches. Just love this. And not this. I love how that turned out. But yeah, I stitched over on this side. Do love this. I want it to be something I stitch on more often, but I have other Joan Elliott's that I've started way before this one, and I feel like it needs to be done before. Like, I really feel like it needs to be done. In this gorgeous stitch and button bag is another one of my little favorites, probably because it has so many water lilies. It's the Peony Garden. And this was started on the 2nd of September 2024. I did 833 stitches, and it's stitched on a pole stitches, 32 count pole stitches, Hocus Pocus. and I love that purple. And I know I did this flower, which looks amazing, and back into the dress. I just love it. Love it. And it does have quite a few water lilies. But if you don't like water lilies, you can always sub it out for something else. Because some of them honestly don't have a lot of variegation. I just like stitching on them. And the last one that I worked on is Forest Goddess by Mirabilia. And this was started on the 1st of May 2020, and it's on 28 count Highlander by Picture This Plus, and I did 590 stitches, and this was another one I hadn't stitched on since I started it, so it was good to get on it, and I realized how much I still love it. Beautiful colors. The fabric is just perfect for me because we all know I've got restarts in the wings, which I'm not going to show today. I still class them as a whip, but I'm going to restart them, so I don't want to keep showing old fabric. So yeah, I have learnt my lesson about quickly kitting up something, and then when you go back on it, you're just like, I don't like the fabric, I rushed it. Yeah. So now for my two new starts. In this stitch and button bag, I started with stitch and button, Lo and Behold by Long Dog Sampler. I am using Silks for You, which I don't know the name of, but that's capturing the colors very well, the purples to blues. And this is stitched on Moonbeam, which is 36 count Lakeside. And I did the grand total of 352 stitches when I started this. And it looks pretty darn good. Oops, it goes this way. I'm not sure if I'll need all of that, but I don't tend to cut my fabric until it is done. And the only other new start I had was in this stitch and button bag, and this is My Heart is Fed by Teresa Kogut. And I have so many of her patterns, but I haven't started any. So, and this was a new release this year, and I just knew I had to stitch it. So I am using the Called For, did that rip? Threads, DMC, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. Don't know, I think this is a Fox and Rabbit, maybe. I would have to look up, but it's 36 count, 1/2, which I think this is where, Scary Sampler was 1/2. I normally do 2/2 on 36 count, but trying something different. I don't hate it, but I do think I prefer 2/2. And that was my start, and I did 343 stitches. So there we go. Now I'm going to stop and get my other whips out. So if you're just here to see progress and what I did from last year, thank you for watching. I know my whip parades are probably not as exciting as everyone else's that work on lots and lots of stuff, but everyone is different. And I'll see how far I go because I've got to leave soon to pick up my daughter from work as well. So I'll see you soon. All right, we're back. Let's see, I don't need that anymore. How far we get to go before I have to go. So these are all the whips I haven't touched on this year. So, some of them, most of them, are going to get some love next year. So hopefully, I picked 6 that I have not worked on, 6 or 8, that I had not worked on at all since I've started them, and I've deliberately put them in to be worked on at least once a month. And then I think I did a randomly draw, and I think most of them are ones that I haven't worked on, maybe, I can't remember. See plans video, that would tell you. In this Emily C bag is Villa Mirabilia by Mirabilia. This one will be a 3 monthly one next year, and it's stitched on 32 count Hole in the Sky by Colour Cascade, and I restarted this on the 2nd of the 1st, 2023. I did have it on a yellowy colour. So, be good to get, because she's a big lady, some decent progress. This one isn't slated to work next year. This is also a Terry bag that she no longer makes bags. And this is my chatelaine, so I'll put a photo in. I seriously was wondering whether to redo it because it is on a pink and it's on 32 count. I don't know which way it goes now. And I was debating and had brought the fabric to do it on a 28 count white. But anyway, it looks beautiful. But I think with all the beading and that, reality speaking, I've probably only done like 300-400 stitches. Maybe more. So yeah. Hopefully we make a decision. I just need to sit down and really look at it. And I really want to get it done because I reckon it will look really nice. And that's why I'm thinking it needs to be done on a 28 count white. That and beads. In this Emily C bag is Guardian of the Enchanted Forest by Black Swan. She is beautiful. I just love the greens in that. And the wings look amazing. This is stitched on 28 count Jobelan Tactical combo by hand dyed by Stephanie, and I started this on the 28th of November 2019. And that is what I've got done. And that looks amazing. Do love how it looks. And I have stitched on this recently, last year. In this stitch and button bag is a Joan Elliott from a magazine, the Ultimate Joan Elliott Collection. It's the Reader. And I am stitching this on 32 count Bashful by Picture This Plus. And I've done quite well with it. And I started this sometime in July of 2017. This is coming up to 10 years. 2 years. Do love it. I even like that border, even it can be a pain to stitch. Sorry, my neck's getting a bit sore. Okay, in this Terry's bag is a Mirabilia 3 for tea. The ones with the 3 girls in it I tend to do because they each remind me of a girl. I have Sophie, Michaela and Iona. And I don't know the fabric, but it's 28 count and I started this on the 5th of October 2019. And it looks like I've gone from edge to edge of the chart, which is what I like to do. In this Jan's Stitching Necessities is a full coverage. So I will put it up here. It's a Heaven and Earth. It's called Breathe. It's stitched on 25 count and I started this on the 1st of November 2019. And this is the only one at the moment that I'm stitching on grid and I actually don't like it. I prefer stitching, but it is beautiful. And the only reason I'm not stitching on this is I'm trying to get Outback Storm. And I do think it looks better on 25 count, but I was never going to restart Outback Storm to do this. In this Emily C bag is going to be my focus for on my Mirabilia next year is Winter Queen. And this is stitched on 32 count Belfast Glacier by Picture This Plus. This won't get done next year. This will be like a 2-year project with so much white. And I started this on the 1st of June 2018. And I finished summer and autumn. So this is the next one. I needed a break from big Mirabilias, so I didn't do any this year. But we need to get back to it. That can go in that pile. This is another bag that Melody made me. And it also has a full coverage. This is the Golden Finch and Blossoms. It's by by Creating Creations. This is on 25 count. This is actually coming out this month as my monthly whip. I just haven't got there yet. So that's where I am. The detail is, it's going to be awesome. I started this, do I have it? 16th of June, maybe, with no actual, yeah. But I started this, I think, with Lisa from Stitching and Such. I'm sure if we've started something together, she's finished it. considering my progress. This bag was gifted to me by Stitching May. Just love it. And this is going to be my focus on the finish next year, so I'll work on it every month. The cover page is so tatty. And this is a Long Dog Sampler Spangle, which I started with Megan and Sammy J from Sammy J Stitches. This is stitched on 36 count Bittersweet. And I started this on the 1st of October 2018. This is going to be a huge, long time to get this finished. But I just love it. It was my first Long Dog sampler that I started and I fell hard, and this is just, I love this one and it needs the focus. And it doesn't have a lot of colours. In this stitch and button bag is a Mirabilia. It is Stargazer. This is stitched on a 32 count, I think it's Sorceress by Colour Cascade in Opal. And that's where we're up to. That is a good indication of the colour too, by the way. It is beautiful. And that is where I'm up to. Do love her. I just have too many whips. I am trying to whip down in my fancy ladies. In this stitch and button bag is Fairy Moon by Mirabilia. And do I have the card in here? Chromatic Alchemy. That's the name of the one I couldn't think of before, and unfortunately it was in the UK and they're no longer dying. So this is on a 32 count from that, and I started this on August the 11th, 2018. This fabric is just stunning. And I do actually really like stitching on her. When I started, I was like, meh. And then when I've done a bit more, I just love it. And Sarah from Sarah's Kingdom is coming up to a finish on her. And it looks amazing. In this stitch and button bag is The Embroideress by Joan Elliott. This is stitched on 32 count Barbie Girl by Colour Cascade, and I started this on the 5th of September 2020 for a friend's birthday. And this is where I'm up to. Loving all those blues. Blue is my favourite colour. In this Emily C bag is Royal Holiday by Mirabilia, and she will also come out this year. She is a December whip, and that's just how my decision will pick them, because I just spin the wheel each month to pick my whip that I'll work on out of the 12 that I've picked for the year. And this is the one. This is stitched on 32 count Glacier by Picture This Plus, and I started this on the 7th of September 2020. I actually started this for stitching Mama Sarah's birthday. because she stitched this and did an amazing finish excuse me, a couple of years ago. In this Jan Stitching Necessities bag, love it, a bit of sparkle to it, is another very huge Mirabilia. This is Sleeping Beauty. And this is stitched on 32 count Ariel by Picture This Plus, and I started this on the 22nd of February 2019. And I have to say, this was another one. I actually wasn't sure about the fabric, but I do really like it now that I've done more stitching on it, and I'm really happy with it. It's just huge. This is going to be my focus on a finish once Sleeping Beauty is done, from Joan Elliott. It is the Christmas Blue Angel. I love her. I love that dress. I don't necessarily love my fabric choice. I'm not a big fan of opal anymore, to be honest. So this is 32 count Belfast opal by the fabric dye is Mermaid Tail and Angel Wings, and I started this in sometime in 2016. This is why it needs to be done before Time Traveler. Just love it. And to be honest, I'm not much of a, like a lot of it, I do have a lot of whips on it. I'm not a Belfast fan anymore. I do prefer even weave, especially when sometimes the threads, there's not much difference between like the thread. In this Emily C bag is a Mirabilia. This is Spring Queen, and she is stitched on 32 count Belfast Highlander from Picture This Plus, and I started her on the 1st of September 2018. And this is where I've got to. And this won't be coming any out for a focus until I've done winter. I do love them. They're huge. They are huge Mirabilias. Speaking of huge whips, in this Stitch and Button bag is Cinderella Rags to Riches by Joan Elliott, and I'm stitching both together. So I'm doing this one. This is coming out next year because I have not stitched on this since I've started her. So it's stitched on 32 count Vanilla Lace by Hand Dyed by Steph, and I've started this on the 26th of September 2020, and that is all I have done. So yeah, cannot wait to get into it more. That is a very disappointing little start. And then not to have stitched on her in 5 years, 4 years, it's a bit sad. This is a bag I got from some stitching friends. They gifted me this bag. And in it is also a whip that I haven't stitched on since I've started, and that is Tiny Dancer by Joan Elliott. And She stitched on a 32 count even weave by Colour Cascades, and I started this on the 4th of the 7th, 2019. And that's it. She is also coming out next year to get some love in. That is really sad. In this bag that I won in a charity from Delicious Threads is Garden Parade by Mirabilia. This is another one that's coming out next year because I don't think I have to stitch on her since I've started it. This is by Angel's Morning by Colour Cascade on a 28 count, and I started this on the 3rd of August, but I didn't write the year in, but it's been a while. Oh no, I think I've stitched on her at least another time, but I haven't stitched on her for a while. So, like, I'm actually not sure 100% which way it goes. So we're going to pretend it goes that way. How much have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to have to race off and pick up Michaela. So this is Queen Mariposa by Mirabilia. Also one that I haven't really stitched on since I've started her. And I've started her on 28 count Confetti by Hand Dyed by Stephanie on the 20th of May. And again, I did not write the year, but I'm guessing it's about 2020 because I haven't had a lot of new starts since 2020. And I think I'm pretty happy with it. I love the chart, and if this doesn't work out, then it will be a restart. But I think I'm going to be happy because once you fill it in, I don't know. This is one of those. I don't like the yellow, but maybe a soft, really soft blue or green. Saying that, I don't think it's a bad choice of fabric. We'll see. We see when she comes out next year what we do. In this stitch and button bag is my Shakespeare's Fairies, and this would have to be up there as my most favourite whip. Every time I stitch on it, I just get so much joy. Some whips you love the ending of and you push through it because you love the design, and some that you love just stitching on and it just flows, and this is one of them. This is on 28 count lock by Picture This Plus, and I started this on the 30th of May 2020. But yeah, every time this comes out, it's just, it flows so easily. But yeah, don't have a lot done, but I just love stitching on her. She is so fun. In this stitch and button bag is Midsummer Night Fairy by Mirabilia. And she is stitched on 32 count Joberlin on Whimsical Winter by Under the Sea, and I started this the 5th of January 2020. And she is gorgeous. Do love stitching on her. I love all of my whips. I have gone through my whips and got rid of any that I don't love stitching on. Usually when I've brought them out for the monthly stitching is a really good indicator. Then, you know, do I love this? Is it the whip? Is it the chart? I had one UFO this year on a Lanard, but I think I like all my whips. We'll see when I stitch on them that I haven't stitched on since I've started. In this bag is Tree of Hope by Mirabilia. This is another one I just love to stitch. Just a joy. This is stitched on Bright Sky Fancy Fabric, which is an Australian design dyer, on 28 count, and this was a restart on the 2nd of May 2020. And I'm up in the trees. This has another one that has a lot of silks. And I just love this fabric. She is an amazing dyer. So if you're looking for an like Colour Cascades is also an Australian dyer, but if you're looking for another one, Fancy Fabrics is awesome. And last, is it last one? Last but not least in this bag that was made by Melody is another whip. I don't think this is one I'm ever going to love, but I've stitched the Sorcerer and I really would like to get the Sorceress done. So this is Alluring Sorceress by Dimensions Chart and Charms. This is on a, pretty sure it's on like an 16, 18 count Ada. This has been restarted so many times because I didn't like the fabric, and then I decided I wanted the fabric to be like the other one, so when they both get framed. Mind you, I did the other one, I think I started Sorcerer when I was like 16, 17, and I finished it when I was like 20, 21. I'm now 43. But anyway, we're stitching the companion. And that is my start, and this is coming out next year to get some love on. And this will be one of those ones that no matter how much I hate it, I am going to continue because I want it done to match the other one. And I like it. And my dad brought me the chart, so I want to get it done. And that is my Wip Parade. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching me out throughout the year. Thank you for all the subscribers, the comments, the likes, for taking your time out of when so many people do Flosstube and watch me. You guys are amazing. I think I've been on here 8 years, and hopefully we'll keep going for a little bit longer. I'm not sure, till it stops being fun, as the absent-minded stitchers say, until it stops being fun. And it's still fun. On the whole, the Flosstube community is amazing, and it's been amazing to be a part of. So thank you so very much. Yeah, I didn't do much of an induction when we started, so I might do one in my next Wip Parade just to give a rundown, but in case you hadn't guessed, I'm an Australian. I live in the Midwest of WA, and we own a farm, which is why when I say harvesting, my husband is harvesting, so that I have peace and quiet to do this without interruptions and stuff. So, but yeah, thank you so much for everyone who's been watching me over these years, watching the Wip Parades, watching my whips grow. But the idea is to whip down in the Fancy Ladies and whip up in the samplers and the different genres, so that, because as you notice, I'm very top heavy with all the beautiful ladies, but it's nice to have variety. On that note, I'm gonna go and drive into town to pick up Michaela from her job at the local IGA. So thank you, happy stitching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.